Imagine getting handed Green Day's guitar and then playing Wonderwall. Or sparking one up to Tupac, literally. Suge Knight says Pac's ashes were smoked by his mom and crew, spiritually of course. Oh, and someone in Kentucky just launched a full-size General Lee over a fountain. Welcome to Fireside News, 4th of July edition. Let's get into it. So if you thought the wildest Tupac theory was that he's still alive, here's one to top it. Suge Knight just did a prison interview and casually dropped this little detail. Tupac's ashes were rolled up and smoked by his mom and group of close friends. Yeah, Suge says that Miss Shakur and the homies apparently held a little post-cremation sesh where they rolled him up and passed him around. Spiritually, of course. Suge claims he didn't partake because he was on probation, which might be the first and only time Suge Knight obeyed the law. He said, I told his mom, I'd love to hit it, but if I did, I'd get in trouble. That's one way to skip a puff past. Honestly, it's either the most poetic tribute ever or the weirdest group therapy session in music history. So yeah, if you ever lit one up while listening to Tupac, just know somewhere out there someone actually lit up Tupac. No holograms required. So you get called up on stage by Green Day, right? You're handed Billy Joe Armstrong's guitar in front of thousands of people, and he tells you to play the song Good Riddance, one of their classics. A literal dream come true, right? Well, not for this guy. At their show in Luxembourg, the guy walks on stage, takes the guitar, and plays Wonderwall by Oasis. No hesitation, just immediate musical betrayal. Joe stopped him in his tracks like, hey, no way, nice try. Then gently but firmly, the guy got the boot. But here's the best part. Liam Gallagher saw the video online and replied, quote, best song of the night. That's some of the top tier troll energy right there. Gallagher just drive-by shaded Green Day and turned the whole thing into a Brit pop win. Let this be a lesson. When given a Green Day guitar, don't go full Oasis. The only thing worse would have been playing Nickelback. If your backyard has 70 empty beer cans, you probably threw a decent party. But if your vehicle has 70 empty beer cans, you just made it into this week's episode of Fireside News. Cops in Sonoma County, California pulled a guy over who was swerving all over the road. Turns out he wasn't just drunk, he was a mobile recycling center. They counted 73 empty Bud Light cans in the car, 7 of which were the giant 25-ounce tall boys. That's like the Costco sampler of DUIs. He even had one open in the cup holder like it was a road trip snack. And yeah, he was over 3 times the legal limit. Oh, and his license? Already suspended from a previous DUI. Duh. Just stockpiling trophies at this point. They lined all the cans up on his hood like he won a beer chugging marathon. And honestly, if you're gonna go full dum-dum, go for quality, I guess. They lined the cans up on the guy's hood like he won a beer chugging marathon or like a frat party just threw up all over a Ford Explorer. Here's one to restore a little faith in humanity and ice cream. A Florida TikToker noticed the older man pushing an ice cream cart on the side of the highway in a brutal heat wave, and turns out he'd been doing it for years because he can't afford a vehicle. So the TikToker gave him some cash and shared his story online. The internet did its thing and GoFundMe campaign raised over 30 grand. No catch, no corporate tie-in, just people showing up to help a guy who's been out grinding in the sun for years trying to make ends meet. You know, sometimes the world's a mess, but sometimes we buy ice cream and we tip big. Bored of your town? Feel like your neighbors are just raccoons with better manners? Well, here's a trending twist. Some U.S. cities are paying people to move in, like straight up writing them checks. Topeka, Kansas will give you 10 grand to help with rent, or up to 15 grand towards a home purchase. Newton, Iowa, 10K cash if you buy a house. Ketchikan, Alaska offers 2 grand and free internet for 3 months. How about that? You know, just in case you want to live in a postcard, I guess, or it's just fun to pronounce the word Ketchikan. Even West Virginia is handing out 12 grand plus outdoor rec package and co-working space. All you have to do is work remotely and not be a total nightmare of a neighbor. So if you're tired of $5 gas, $3,000 rent, and $17 coffees, maybe it's time to pack up and get paid to start over somewhere else. You know that one friend who takes their 80s car obsession a little too far? Well, in Somerset, Kentucky, that guy exists, and he launched a full-size replica of the General Lee 150 feet. He launched a full-size replica of the General Lee 150 feet through the air over a fountain. Thousands showed up to watch the stunt, which looked like the climax of a Redneck Avengers movie. The car bounced, lost a bumper, and almost took out a cameraman, but hey, it landed, sort of. Even better, though, original Dukes actors John Snyder and Byron Cherry were there to sign autographs, proving it was less local stunt disaster and more Southern Comic Con with horsepower. It's good old-fashioned chaos, just the way Bo and Luke would have wanted it. Not all heroes wear capes, some just have really good hands. In Cleveland, an apartment fire broke out and a mom had one option: toss her baby out the third-story window and just pray that someone would catch her. And luckily, someone did. Bystanders on the ground stepped up and pulled the kid of a real-life catch-and-release miracle, usually only see in movies. Bystanders on the ground stepped up and pulled off the kind of real-life catch-and-release miracle you only see in movies. And the baby's fine. The mom made it down, and the footage of it is both terrifying and also awe-inspiring. Not every viral video makes you feel good. This one absolutely does. There's a cowboy robot walking around Austin, Texas, and no, it's not a fever dream. His name is Jake the Rizbot, and he wears a cowboy hat and says charming things. He can jog down the street like he's late for a date with ChatGPT. And he's not AI, he's remote controlled, but that hasn't stopped people from filming him like he's Bigfoot. Some folks think it's cute. Some folks think he's cute, others say he's terrifying. One thing for sure, it's exactly kind of weird that makes you stop scrolling. It's either the beginning of a robot apocalypse or the next guest on The Bachelor. Either way, I'm watching. If you laughed, gasped, or questioned humanity, smash that like, hit subscribe, and drop a comment below. Seriously, that's the best way to keep Fireside News burning. New Chaos drops every Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. Don't miss it.